The clock showed 1:30 a.m. Hana's eyes burned from staring at physics problems for hours. Her small apartment in Busan was quiet except for the tapping of Jisoo's fingers on her laptop keyboard and the soft sound of Minji turning textbook pages. "I can't solve this one," Hana said, pushing her notebook away. "My brain is dead." Jisoo looked up from her computer. "Take a break. We've been studying for 6 hours." Minji nodded. "I'll make more tea." The three friends had been together since childhood. Now, in their final year of high school, they studied every night for university entrance exams. Hana was the smart one who loved physics. Jisoo could make any computer do what she wanted. Minji was quiet but could make anyone feel comfortable. While Minji filled the kettle, Hana walked to the window. The city lights of Busan spread out below. She opened the window, letting in cool night air. "One more month of studying. Then we can sleep again," Hana said. Jisoo laughed. "Then 4 years of college, then work forever." "At least we'll be together," Minji said from the kitchen. "We all picked the same university." Suddenly, a bright white light filled the room. Hana stepped back from the window. "What is that?" she asked. "Some kind of spotlight." The light grew stronger. Books fell off shelves. The kettle shook on the stove. "Earthquake?" Jisoo asked, grabbing her laptop. Minji ran into the room. "That's not an earthquake." The light became so bright they couldn't see. Hana felt her feet leave the floor. Gravity seemed to stop working. She heard Jisoo scream. Minji grabbed her hand. The three friends floated up, the apartment falling away below them. "What's happening?" Minji cried. They rose higher, up through a large round opening in what looked like the bottom of a massive ship. The light came from inside this opening. As they floated through it, Hana saw they were entering a huge metal room. Dozens of other people floated nearby, all looking scared. The light turned off. Gravity returned suddenly. They fell to a hard metal floor. Jisoo landed on her side with a cry of pain. "Are you okay?" Hana asked, helping her up. "I think so," Jisoo said, checking her arm. Minji stood slowly, looking around. "Where are we?" The large room had high ceilings and walls made of some dark metal. The people who had been taken with them looked around in confusion. Some cried. Others called for help. A door opened on one wall. Tall figures walked in. They weren't human. They had gray skin, 4 arms, and large black eyes. They wore some kind of armor that glowed with small lights. "Not possible," Hana whispered. "Aliens." The aliens moved through the crowd, pushing people into lines. One alien touched something on its arm. A voice came from it, speaking perfect Korean. "Do not resist. You are now property of the Voidian Empire. Fighting will result in termination." Minji grabbed her friend's hands. "Stay together," she whispered. An alien approached them. It was 3 heads taller than Hana. It pushed them toward a line of younger people. "Suitable for labor training," it said to another alien. As they were moved from the large room into a hallway, Hana looked through a window and saw Earth growing smaller below them. Her home, her family, everything she knew. "We'll get back," she promised quietly. "Whatever these things are, they made a mistake taking us." Jisoo nodded, her face pale but determined. They don't know who they're dealing with. Minji said nothing, but her eyes took in everything. The aliens' movements, the ship's layout, the way the other captives reacted. She was learning, watching, planning. The 3 friends, still in their study clothes, were marched deeper into the massive ship, leaving Earth behind. 7 days passed since the abduction. Hana, Jisoo, and Minji sat on metal benches in a large cell with 20 other humans. The space was cold, and the lights never turned off completely. "I counted 4 mealtimes," Hana said quietly. "I think that means 1 day on this ship." Jisoo nodded. "The guards change positions every 6 hours. I've been watching." Minji looked at the other prisoners. Most were young like them. Some were from Korea, others from Japan, China, and other countries. Everyone looked scared. "We need to learn their language," Minji said. "That's how we'll understand what's happening." A young man with dark hair moved closer to them. "I can help with that," he said in Korean. "I've been here 3 months." The girls looked at him with surprise. "I'm Dadian," he said. "I was taken from Seoul. I've learned some of their words." "I'm Hana. These are my friends Jisoo and Minji." Daehyun looked around carefully, then sat next to them. "The aliens are called Boydians. They take people from many planets for work. They think humans are weak but good for simple jobs." "Where are they taking us?" Jisoo asked. "To a bigger ship first, then to their work planets." The cell door opened. 4 Voidians entered. They picked 10 prisoners, including Minji, and took them away. "What will they do to her?" Hannah asked, afraid. "Work assignment testing," Daehyun explained. "They check what jobs you can do. Don't worry, they won't hurt her if she cooperates." 3 hours later, Minji returned. She looked tired but unhurt. "They tested my brain," she said. "They showed me pictures of their writing and checked if I could learn it. I pretended to be slower than I am." Hannah looked surprised. "Why?" "If they think we're smart, they'll watch us more closely," Minji explained. "It's better if they think we're not a threat." The next day, Jisoo was taken for testing. When she returned, she told them she had seen the ship's computer system. "Their technology is amazing," she whispered. "But I saw something interesting. The guards need permission for everything. They scan their hands on panels to open doors or use computers." On the 3rd day, Hannah was tested. The Voidians showed her machine parts and watched how she put them together. She deliberately made small mistakes. That night, the 3 friends and Daehyun sat in a corner of the cell, speaking quietly. "This ship is huge," Hannah said. "I saw through a window during testing. There must be thousands of prisoners here. And hundreds of other ships like this one," Daehyun added. "The Voidians control many star systems. Earth is just one small planet to them." "Did they attack Earth?" Jisoo asked. Daehyun shook his head. "No, they just take small groups. They call Earth a developing world. They visit every few years to take workers. Other alien races don't even know humans exist." Minji's eyes narrowed. "So nobody is coming to help us?" "No one," Daehyun confirmed. The ship shook slightly. Through a small window, they saw stars blur as the ship moved faster than light. "We're heading to the central processing station," Daehyun said. "We'll be separated there for different work planets." Hannah looked at her friends. "We can't let them separate us." "We won't," Jisoo said firmly. "I'm already memorizing the ship layout. Every door code I see, every computer system." Minji nodded. "And I'm learning their words, their ranks, how they talk to each other." "They think we're just scared, weak humans," Hannah said. "That's their mistake." Daehyun looked at the 3 girls with new respect. Most prisoners just accepted their fate, but these 3 were different. "What can I do to help?" he asked. "Teach us everything you know about the Voidians," Hannah said. "We'll stay quiet. We'll watch. We'll learn." "And then?" Daehyun asked. Minji's usually soft eyes turned hard. "And then we'll find a way home." 1 month passed. Hannah worked in the engine room of the massive Voidian ship. Her job was simple: clean the machines and sort small parts. The Voidians thought this was all she could do. They were wrong. Every day, Hannah watched how the engines worked. She remembered her physics books from Earth. The alien technology used some of the same ideas, just more advanced. When no one watched, she studied the control panels and energy systems. "Move faster, human," a Voidian supervisor ordered. His 4 arms worked on a control panel while his large black eyes watched the workers. "Yes, master," Hannah said, keeping her head down. She had learned it was better to seem weak and obedient. In another part of the ship, Jisoo worked at a data terminal. Her job was to enter simple information into the ship's computer system. The Voidians thought humans were too primitive to understand their technology. But Jisoo had been coding since she was 10 years old. As she worked, she secretly learned how the alien computer systems operated. When guards weren't looking, she tested small commands, seeing what she could access. These systems have weaknesses, she thought, just like computer systems on Earth. Minji had the hardest job of all. She worked serving food and drinks to high-ranking Voidians in their meeting rooms. She stayed silent and moved quickly, becoming almost invisible to them. This was perfect for learning. As she served, Minji listened to their conversations. She now understood much of their language. She learned that the Voidians had different factions that didn't always agree. Some wanted to use humans as workers. Others thought humans should be test subjects for experiments. Most importantly, Minji discovered that the ruling Voidians no longer fully understood their own technology. They used machines built by their ancestors hundreds of years ago, but couldn't build new ones themselves. The human workers are causing fewer problems than expected, one Voidian commander said to another as Minji poured their drinks. They are simple creatures, the other replied. No threat to us. Minji kept her face blank, showing no reaction. At night, the three friends met in their sleeping area. They had only 10 minutes before lights out, when talking was forbidden. I found something interesting today, Hana whispered. Their engine system has a special cooling process. If it fails, the whole power system shuts down. Jisoo nodded. The computer security is strong, but there are old pathways in the system they don't use anymore. I might be able to access them. The ship will reach the central station in 2 weeks, Minji said. I heard the commanders talking. We'll be separated then. We need to act before that happens, Hana said. Daehyun joined them, along with 2 other humans they had come to trust. Sunwoo, a former soldier from Korea, and Iona, a young woman who had studied biology. I saw something useful today, Sunwoo said quietly. The weapons storage area is guarded by only 2 Voidians during 3rd shift. Iona added, and I learned their skin is sensitive to high-pitched sounds. It causes them pain. Jisoo's eyes lit up. I could create a sound through the ship's communication system. Hana looked at each of their faces. 6 humans against an empire of aliens. It seemed impossible, but in just 1 month, they had learned so much. The Voidians think they know everything about us, Hana said, but they only see what we want them to see. They think we're primitive, Jisoo added. That's their weakness. Minji smiled slightly, and they talk too much in front of their servants. For the first time since their capture, they felt a small hope growing. They weren't just victims anymore. They were becoming something the Voidians couldn't imagine. A threat. Tomorrow we start planning our first move, Hana said as the lights began to dim. Something small but important. The lights went out, leaving them in darkness. But unlike the first nights of fear, now they welcomed the dark. It hid their determination from enemy eyes. 6 months had passed since their abduction. Hana, Jisoo, and Minji no longer looked like scared high school students. Their eyes were sharp, watching everything. Their bodies were stronger from hard work. Their minds were filled with knowledge about their captors. Today is the day, Hana whispered during their morning meal. The tasteless food paste was the same every day, but none of them complained anymore. Jisoo nodded. I'm ready. The system access points are mapped in my head. The guard rotation changes at the 4th hour, Minji added. The blue faction will take over from the red faction. They don't like each other. Their plan was simple but dangerous. Create a problem, watch how the Voidians react, and learn more about their emergency procedures. If they were caught, they would be punished severely, maybe even killed. Hana finished her meal and went to her workstation in the engine room. She waited until the supervisor was called away, then quickly moved to a cooling panel. She had studied it for months. With careful fingers, she loosened a connection, then returned to her regular position. Nothing happened immediately. 2 hours later, Alarms rang through the ship. The temperature in the prison section began to rise rapidly. Emergency in Sector 7, the announcement said in the Voidian language. Environmental system failure. Jisoo was ready. While guards rushed to check the problem, she slipped to an unused data terminal. Her fingers flew over the alien keyboard, typing commands she had practiced in her mind for weeks. She created a small opening in the system, something only she would know how to find again. Status report. A voice called over the communication system. Minji stood near the two guard factions during the shift change. As they argued about the emergency, she spoke softly in perfect Voidian language. I heard the blue team leader say this was red team's fault, she whispered to one guard. To another guard from the other faction, she said, the red commander thinks blue team sabotaged the cooling system. The argument grew louder. In the confusion, Minji took a small device from a guard's belt, a key card that could open certain doors. By evening, the emergency was over. The Voidians found the loose connection and fixed it. They believed it was an accident, but during the chaos, Hana, Jisoo, and Minji had achieved much more. They met with their small group in a hidden corner of the sleeping area. We have access, Jisoo said quietly. I created a path into their communication system. Minji showed them the key card. This will open storage areas in the lower levels. Sunwoo smiled. Good work. Did anyone suspect you? No, Hana said. They think humans are too scared to cause trouble. Daehyun looked nervous. What's the next step? We need to send a message to Earth, Hana said. Tell them where we are and what we've learned about the Voidians. Is that possible? Yeona asked. Jisoo nodded. With the access I created, I can send a short signal. But we need to be careful. It can't look like a human message. I'll make it look like routine ship data, Hana said. But hidden inside will be our coordinates and information about Voidian weaknesses. What if Earth can't help us? Daehyun asked. What if they can't even receive our message? Minji put her hand on his arm. Then we help ourselves. This is just the beginning. That night, as most prisoners slept, Jisoo sat at a hidden terminal while Hana and Minji kept watch. Her fingers tapped commands, sending their carefully disguised message toward Earth. Message sent, she whispered finally. Hana looked out a small window at the stars. Somewhere out there was home. Now we wait, she said. And we keep planning, Minji added. Next time, we do more than just test their systems. The three girls looked at each other. Their first strike against their captors had succeeded. It was small, but it was just the beginning of what they could do. 3 weeks passed since they sent their message. Hana had almost given up hope when the alarm sounded throughout the ship. Battle stations, the Voidian command blared in their language. Unknown vessels approaching. Hana was cleaning engine parts when she heard the announcement. Her heart beat faster. Could it be? Across the ship, Jisoo was at her data terminal. When the guards rushed to their emergency positions, she quickly accessed the ship's external cameras. What she saw made her gasp. 5 ships approached the Voidian vessel. They were smaller but moved quickly. On their sides was a symbol Jisoo recognized immediately, Earth's United Nations logo. In the diplomatic section, Minji heard Voidian commanders shouting. Primitive vessels from the quarantine planet, one said. How did they find us? How did they get this far into space? Destroy them, another ordered. No witnesses. Minji slipped away to find her friends. They met at their secret spot during the emergency. Earth sent ships, Jisoo said, her voice shaking with excitement. They got our message. They're coming to rescue us, Daehyun said, hope filling his face for the first time in months. Hana shook her head. The Voidian weapons are too powerful. Earth's ships don't stand a chance. As if to confirm her words, the ship shook from weapon fire. Through a small window, they saw bright flashes of light as the battle began. We need to help them somehow, Sunwoo said. Create a distraction. There's no time to plan, Yeona warned. The battle will be over in minutes. Suddenly, Their ship rocked violently. The lights flickered. "One of Earth's ships hit us," Hannah said, looking out the window. "They're aiming for the engine section." Another explosion, closer this time. The prisoners were thrown to the floor. Guards ran by, not even noticing them. "This is our chance," Minji said. "We can move freely while they're distracted." Using the key card they had stolen, they left their area and moved through the ship's corridors. Alarms blared everywhere. Through windows, they saw the space battle. 3 Earth ships were already destroyed, burning in space. "We're losing," Hannah whispered. Then she saw one Earth ship fly directly toward the Voidian vessel. It was damaged but still moving. "They're going to crash into us," Jisoo said. But the Earth ship didn't crash. Instead, it attached to the side of the Voidian vessel. "They're boarding us," Sunwoo said, his eyes wide. "They're trying to rescue prisoners." "We need to get to that docking point," Hannah decided. "Now." They ran through the corridors, avoiding groups of Voidian soldiers. The ship shook again. More explosions. The last Earth ship outside was hit by Voidian weapons and broke apart. "That was the last one," Dahyun said, his voice heavy with sadness. "Not the last," Hannah reminded him. "One ship is docked with us. There's still hope." They reached a large door leading to the section where the Earth ship had attached. It was locked, but Jisoo quickly used her knowledge of the ship's systems to override it. The door opened. Inside, they found chaos. Voidian guards were fighting against human soldiers in spacesuits. Some prisoners had already been freed and were helping the humans fight. "Hannah," a voice called from among the human soldiers. Hannah froze. She knew that voice. A soldier removed his helmet, revealing a familiar face. "Ji-hoon," she whispered. It was her older brother, now a captain in Earth's defense forces. "I found you," Ji-hoon said, rushing to hug her. "We got your message. Earth has been preparing since you were taken." "You shouldn't have come," Hannah said, though tears filled her eyes. "Their weapons are too strong." Ji-hoon looked grim. "We know that now. My ship is the only one left, and it's badly damaged. We can't get home." "Then we'll find another way," Minji said firmly. "Together," Jisoo added. The human soldiers and freed prisoners gathered around them. The rescue mission had failed, but something new had begun. The small control room was crowded with humans. Captain Ji-hoon spread a digital map on the table. The map showed the Voidian ship's layout, which Hannah, Jisoo, and Minji had created from memory. "We have 23 soldiers and about 40 freed prisoners," Ji-hoon said. "The Voidians have hundreds of guards and weapons we can't match." "But we have surprise," Hannah said. "They don't think humans are smart enough to be a real threat." Jisoo pointed to areas on the map. "These are control centers for the ship's main systems. If we take these, we control the ship. And we need to free more prisoners," Minji added. "Not just humans. There are beings from many worlds here who hate the Voidians." Ji-hoon looked at his sister with pride and surprise. The scared student he remembered was gone. In her place stood a leader. "What's your plan?" he asked. Hannah, Jisoo, and Minji shared a look. For 6 months, they had planned for this moment. "First, we need your weapons," Hannah said. "Voidian guards never expect prisoners to be armed." "Then each of us leads a team to these key points," Jisoo continued, marking spots on the map. "I'll take the computer center. Hannah, the power systems. Minji, the prison sections." "What about the command center?" Ji-hoon asked. "That's where the highest-ranking Voidians will be." "That's your target," Minji told him. "But first, we need a distraction." 1 hour later, the plan began. In the engine room, Hannah accessed the cooling system again, but this time she didn't just loosen a connection. She disabled the entire system. Alarms blared throughout the ship as temperature levels rose rapidly in certain sections. Voidian guards rushed to fix the problem. At the same time, Jisoo activated the virus she had secretly created over months of work. The ship's lights flickered. Doors opened and closed randomly. The communication system began broadcasting strange noises. In the confusion, Minji led a team to the prison sections. Using stolen keycards and the weapons from Earth's ship, they began freeing prisoners. "We're taking control of this ship," she told the confused prisoners in multiple languages she had learned. "Join us or stay in your cells." Most joined. Soon, Minji had hundreds of beings from dozens of worlds following her. Many had been prisoners for years and knew the ship well. Hannah's team reached the power control room. The Voidian guards were surprised to see armed prisoners and didn't react quickly enough. Within minutes, Hannah controlled the ship's power systems. Engine section secured. She spoke into a communication device Jihoon had given her. Jisoo faced more resistance at the computer center. Voidian technicians fought back, and 2 human soldiers were injured. But with the help of Daehyun and Yona, they eventually took control. "Computer systems accessed," Jisoo reported. "Unlocking out Voidian commands now." Jihoon's team fought the hardest battle at the command center. Voidian leaders used personal weapons and called for reinforcements, but the ship's systems no longer responded to their commands, thanks to Jisoo. "Command center taken," Jihoon finally reported. "But we found something bad. They sent a message before we captured them." "What message?" Hannah asked, feeling cold fear despite their victory. "They called for their main fleet," Jihoon said. "And they ordered immediate harvesting of Earth. They're sending ships to take thousands more humans." Silence fell over the communication channel. Their victory suddenly felt small compared to this new threat. "How long until their fleet reaches Earth?" Hannah asked. 4 Earth days, Jihoon answered. Hannah looked at the power controls in front of her, then at the Voidian ship around them. "Then we have 4 days to learn how to fly this ship," she said, "and go after them." "One ship against a fleet?" Sunwoo's voice asked. "One ship with the 3 humans who know more about Voidian weaknesses than anyone," Minji replied confidently. The revolution had begun, but the real battle for Earth was just starting. The captured Voidian ship moved through space faster than any human vessel ever built. On the bridge, Hannah stood looking at the stars streaking by outside. "We're running at 80% of maximum speed," she said. "Any faster, and the engines might fail." Jihoon nodded. "Will we catch the Voidian fleet in time?" "If we don't stop for anything, maybe," Hannah answered. "But we need more help. One ship against a fleet is suicide." The bridge was now controlled by humans and other freed aliens. Voidian prisoners were locked in the cells where they had once kept their captives. Jisoo worked at the main computer, her fingers flying over the controls. "I found something," she called out. "There are 3 more prison ships in this sector." Minji looked up from a star map. "If we free those ships, we could have more allies. But that would slow us down," Sunwoo warned. "We might not reach Earth in time." Hannah thought for a moment. "We need to split up. Some of us free the other prison ships. The rest keep going toward Earth." "How?" Yeona asked. "We only have 1 ship." "We have the Earth rescue ship," Daehyun pointed out. "It's damaged but might still fly." Jihoon shook his head. "It can't go faster than light. It would take years to reach Earth. But it could reach the nearest prison ship," Hannah said. "And with that ship, they could free the next one, and so on." The plan was made. Minji would lead a team to free the other prison ships. Hannah and Jisoo would continue toward Earth with Jihoon and most of the soldiers. Before they separated, Hannah found Minji checking supplies on the Earth ship. "This is dangerous," Hannah said. "If you're caught." "I won't be," Minji promised. "I know how to move without being seen. I've been doing it for months." The friends hugged. "We'll see you at Earth," Hannah said. "Bring an army." After Minji's team left, the Voidian ship pushed to maximum speed. In the engine room, Hannah made changes to the power systems, pushing them beyond what the Voidians thought possible. The designers built these engines better than the current Voidians understand, she explained to Jihoon. They're afraid to use the full power. And you're not afraid? He asked. Hana smiled grimly. Not anymore. In the computer center, Jisoo created a new communication system. It allowed their ship to talk with different species using simple words and pictures. When we reach Earth, we'll need to explain our plan to everyone quickly, she said. The ship shook as it flew faster than any Voidian vessel had traveled in centuries. Alarms sounded, but Hana's modifications kept the engines running. 3 days passed. The humans took turns sleeping and working. Jisoo barely left the computer center, learning everything she could about Voidian technology. I found a weakness in their fleet communication, she told Hana on the 3rd day. They all connect to the main ship for orders. Can you use that? Hana asked. Maybe, Jisoo said. I'm still working on it. That night, as most of the crew slept, a message arrived from Minji. First prison ship freed. Moving to second. Many new allies. Species called Zentari have space battle experience. Hope grew among the crew. Maybe they had a chance after all. On the 4th day, Jihoon called everyone to the bridge. On the main screen was a terrible sight. The blue-green planet Earth, with 30 Voidian ships surrounding it. We're too late, Daeyeon whispered. No, Hana said firmly. They've just arrived. Look, they're still positioning themselves around the planet. They haven't started taking people yet. Another message appeared on their screen. It was from Earth. Unknown ship, identify yourself. We are prepared to defend our planet. Jisoo smiled. Earth has built defenses since we were taken. Hana took a deep breath and pressed the communication button. This is Hana Kim on the captured Voidian ship Freedom. We're here to help. And we're not alone. Behind their ship, space rippled as 3 more ships appeared. The prison ships Minji had freed, now coming to join the battle for Earth. Tell us what to do, Jihoon said to his sister. We attack, Hana answered, and we show the Voidians exactly how dangerous humans can be. Attack pattern ready, Jihoon said, his voice steady despite the odds against them. 30 Voidian ships against their 4 freed vessels seemed impossible. On the bridge of their captured ship, now named Freedom, Hana nodded. Everyone knows what to do. Earth defenses are standing by, Jisoo confirmed, looking at her communication screen. They have missiles and fighter jets ready. Not as powerful as Voidian weapons, but every bit helps. The main screen showed Minji's face from one of the other freed ships. She looked tired but determined. The Zentari warriors are ready, she reported. And the other freed species want revenge for years of slavery. Hana took a deep breath. Everything they had learned, every secret they had discovered during their months of captivity, would now be tested. Begin the attack, she ordered. The Freedom moved forward, heading straight for the largest Voidian ship, the fleet command vessel. The other 3 freed ships spread out, each targeting different enemy vessels. They're sending us a message, Jisoo said. They're ordering us to surrender. Hana smiled. Send them our answer. Jisoo pressed a button, and the virus she had created during their captivity was transmitted to the Voidian command ship. At first, nothing happened. Then, the massive ship's lights flickered. It's working, Jisoo said excitedly. The virus is spreading through their network. Their ships all connect to the command vessel for orders. On Earth below, humans watched in amazement as lights on the alien ships blinked on and off. Some ships began to drift, their engines shutting down. Now, Hana, Jihoon called. Hana activated the engine modification she had prepared. A pulse of energy shot from the Freedom toward the command ship, targeting the exact weakness she had discovered months ago while cleaning engine parts, the cooling system connection to the main power grid. The command ship's engines exploded in a flash of blue light. The ship didn't break apart, but it stopped moving, dead in space. Earth defenses, attack now, Jihoon ordered through the communication system. From the planet below, hundreds of missiles launched toward the confused Voidian fleet. Fighter jets rose into the atmosphere, targeting the smaller enemy vessels. The free prison ships, led by Minji, attacked from the other side. The Zentari, tall purple beings who had been prisoners for decades, proved to be excellent pilots, flying the ships in ways the Voidians never had. Half their fleet is disabled, Jisoo reported, watching the battle on the main screen. The rest are trying to retreat. Don't let them, Hannah said. If any escape, they'll bring reinforcements. A message from Earth appeared on their screen. This is Earth Defense Command. Who are you, and how did you disable their ships? We are former prisoners, Hannah replied. We learned their weaknesses, and we're not done yet. For the next hour, the battle raged around Earth. The Voidian ships, cut off from their command center and attacked from multiple sides, fought desperately. Some exploded in bright flashes of light. Others surrendered when their weapons failed. On the Freedom's Bridge, Daehyun looked at a screen showing the Voidian homeworlds. Reports are coming in from across their empire, he said in amazement. Other enslaved worlds are rising up. The virus Jisoo created has spread to their entire network. Their technology is failing everywhere. An empire built on slavery and stolen technology. Minji's voice came through the communication system. It was always going to fall. As the last Voidian ship surrendered, cheers erupted on the Freedom's Bridge. Hana, Jisoo, and Jihoon hugged each other, barely believing they had won. Hours later, their ship landed on Earth. The three friends stood together, looking at the blue sky of their home world. We made it back, Jisoo said, tears in her eyes, and brought down an empire, Minji added, joining them on the landing pad. Hannah looked at her friends, no longer high school students worried about exams, but warriors who had freed countless worlds. Not bad for three girls from Busan, she said with a smile. Around them, humans and aliens from the freed ships began to talk, building the foundation for Earth's new place in the galaxy. The silent had become savage when needed, and now they would help build a better future among the stars.